And the hat. The hat. Barich's new hat, because he lost the old hat. This will be good. Both these players 10-3. Win keeps them alive for top 8. I don't think 11-3-1's going to do it this weekend. But it looks like Aaron's on a mulligan to 6, while Awesome Rosum appears to be keeping 7. For you fantasy football fans out there, Sammy Watkins just scored a touchdown. That's big. That's big. That's big.
Big score for old SETI.
That's a big score for the old FanDuel team.
Big score for SETI.
Set your lineup. No chance you're collecting cash. Big W there. Oh, no, another touchdown for Cam Newton. Oh, darn. Oh, darn.
Dude, are you going to quit? Are you going to hang it up after today?
Yeah, I'm going to quit this job. We're moving into full-time FanDuel, baby. Here we go. Tell your boy Saquon Barkley to get going. Buffalo 27, Minnesota 0.
Yeah, Eric Hawkins walking around.
I think he should take the Vikings jersey off.
Yeah, it's time to tap out on that.
It's tough. It's a tough day to be a Vikings fan. Your Bills are due. Here we go with Wooded Foothills from Aaron. He's down to 19. He'll get a tropical island. The follow-up is maybe a Glistener Elf. It is. Put Rosum to the test right now as we go over to John. Fatal Push is a timely draw step. That's an island, though. And this is a Ponder. So Rosum's hoping he's not dead on the second turn of the game. Rosum will shuffle.
Something that I think distinguishes a lot of very proficient Legacy players from some less skilled ones. I see the best players just shuffle with Ponder way more than some less skilled players.
I would agree with that. Barich's hand doesn't appear to be that good, but here is a Noble Hierarch. And now here's an attack for 2 Infect. Tom Ross counter on the table. There's an Inkmoth Nexus. Let's go back over to Rosum.
So a little bit on the slow side here from Barich, but at least he's got multiple Infect threats, which is nice against a deck that plays so much removal.
Scalding Tarn there for Rosum. Pass that turn back over to Barich. Barich will draw a card. Blighted Agent, another Infect threat. But that's a blue card to go on Force Will, so that matters. Here's an attack Glistener Elf. 2 more Infect. Up to 4. Wasteland also in hand here for Aaron, and it looks like a Brainstorm, too. See if Barich maybe wants to play that Blighted Agent or not. Doesn't really change much for him by playing it.
Well, I mean, what it changes is his ability to go wide. If he assumes that Rosum is going to be playing a removal spell, you really want to get off the Exalted game plan and instead want to just attack with all of your Infect creatures. So the third Infect creature that you add to the battlefield now puts you ahead of playing one attacker plus an Exalted trigger.
Brainstorm here for John. He'll draw 3. Be putting 2 back here soon. It looks like he's still working on it. Not sure exactly what he wants to put back. There it is. So Brainstorm done resolving it now. He'll sack a fetch. Wouldn't be surprised to see an Underground Sea here for Rosum. We know he's got a Fatal Push in hand. And he's actually going to go, okay, I'll go with the Badlands. And that will allow him to have access to Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push. And a bevy of other things.
And Barrett's there last turn kind of slow rolled the Wasteland, decided not to play it, hoping to get Rosum to fetch up a dual land, I'm sure.
Yep. That was the plan. It certainly did work. It looks like Rossum's going to go with a removal spell here. I think he's just trying to figure out which creature he wants to kill. He's going to go with Blight Agent via Lightning Bolt. Blighted Agent is down. Now Rosum will untap, and he'll draw. Looks like maybe another Hymn to Torek was the draw. He's got another copy of Badlands in hand, too. pass it back now. Will Rosum over to Barich. Barich is going to draw a card here. Again, we know he's got that Wasteland in hand, Force of Will, along with the Brainstorm. Now this will be Brainstorm to start off the turn. That's going to resolve. So 3 cards coming here for Aaron. Invigorate among them. One thing I did like, too, by Rosum was his choice of removal spell there on the end step, using Bolt instead of Fatal Push. Bolt, if Aaron elects to Invigorate there, that's fine. But here, Invigorate's not going to trump Fatal Push.
Exactly. You're playing against a deck with a lot of pump spells, so anytime you can trade your Bolt off for a creature and leave the Terminate style effect in your hand, that's a lot more efficient than trying to do it the other way.
Yeah.
So with that Invigorate, Barich is, in theory, representing lethal damage this turn.
If he's willing to go for it. One of the real skills with playing this deck, is picking your spots. When to make your move. Inkmoth Nexus, fire up Inkmoth Nexus. I like what Aaron's doing here. He's not going the Exalted route anymore. He says, I'm going to fire in with 2 creatures.
And again, Barich, really mindful of trying not to lean too much on Exalted when he's playing against this much removal and not play a pump spell into a bunch of open mana.
And Rosum is doing a nice job here of not playing into Barich in combat, making Barich make the move first. If you're going to kill an infect creature, you're going to want to do it end of combat or end of turn where they can't punish you.
Yeah, don't get involved in a big stack inside of combat. That's an easy way to get killed, even with reactive cards in your hand.
Bolt going to take care of Inkmoth Nexus there on the end step. We're going to head back over to John, who's using his life total and his infect total as a resource here. He'll draw a card. Looks like he may have picked up a copy of Gurmag Angler. And it looks like he may also have a copy of Baleful Strix in hand. Baleful Strix, of course, going to be a good blocker on this battlefield.
Great card against Infect.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure part of John wants to fire off a Hymn to Torak, but just doesn't really make a lot of sense right now. So he's just going to pass the turn back. Wasteland the draw here for Barich.
Got to be an attractive play here with that Wasteland, given that Rosum missed the land drop. And he's just saying go with all of his mana. Mm-hmm. He's probably got a really reactive hand. I think there might be an argument for wasting a Badlands and just saying go.
It looks like Barich is going to activate Inkmoth Nexus. And that's going to bring Rosum up to 8, in fact. Again, Rosum refusing to make a move inside of combat. Here's a Fatal Push on the end step. Again, if you're not at 10 infect, you're not really at any infect. You know, you get the opportunity, if you do things right, to use that to your advantage. And thus far, Rosum's done a pretty nice job of it, but Barich has done a nice job of not moving in too early with that Invigorate and demonstrating some patience here.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be mindful. Rosum's passing with all of his mana and a bunch of cards in hand. It's very unlikely he's on nothing.
Well, Wasteland's going to go after the Badlands here in response to the Fatal Push. And there's another push. Now Barich's hand might be forced, but he will not use the Force of Will. So Rosum has cleaned up all those infect creatures.
Yeah, if you wanted to use the Force of Will, you would have used it on protecting a flyer. Trying to protect a non-flying infect creature in the face of a Snapcaster Mage that can block doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Rosum picks up another copy of Lightning Bolt. And now he's going to come in here for 2. And he will happily pass the turn back. Tropical Island the draw. Now here's a copy of Brainstorm. Three cards coming here for Barich: a Daze, a Ponder, and a Forest. Not exactly what the doctor ordered. And I don't even think there's a fetch land in there either.
Well, he can put back 2 lands and then just plan on shuffling with the Ponder.
Sure. Two cards will go back here for Barich. Now he'll ponder. He'll take a look at the top 3 cards. He put 2 lands back in a ponder there, so an easy shuffle. That'll let him clear it up. Mystery card coming. Shuffle away all the garbage into the deck. Hope to do a little bit better here. And we're going to head back over to Rosum, it looks like. Rosum, I think, is going to bolt that hierarchy. And Rosum has done a great job here of just wearing down Barich's resources.
Yep. Not getting involved in any sort of fights inside of combat, and then slowly picking apart Barich on Barich's end step.
Invigorate's going to save that Noble Hierarch, and that's obviously not the use of that card that Barich is looking for. He's looking for it to be a game winner. But it's something that might allow him to just continue to play, more importantly. As here comes Snapcaster Mage in for 2. Barich can fall down at 15. And we got an angler. Real big fish here, folks. 6 cards will be delved away.
Nice for Rosum to put himself on a pace here to probably close the game inside of 2 turns, or at least present lethal.
Yep, that's kind of the plan here for John. Barich will draw a card. Barich needs an infect threat to get those last 2 points of infect damage through, but he can't be confident that this is going to work out well for him. But he doesn't really have a lot of time, so he's got to kind of make a move here. He's going to start off with a Glistener Elf. Hope for the best. Rosum's going to play Force of Will, exiling Baleful Strix, a card he's had in his hand for some time that he's never needed to cast. And Barich will just pass the turn back. So now we go back over to Rosum. He'll play a Black Source. Now there's a Hymn to Torak. John set up a beautiful game here.
Yeah. Been super patient, too. Never wanted to play in a day. He's had that Baleful Strix in hand for a very long time.
Middle card will get to stay. Other ones are going to go. Force of Will on a land, leaving Barich with just a daze. Here's an attack here for 5, 6, 7. And Invigorate might be the draw, but it's not the draw that Jonathan Rosum is scared of. And it's not the draw that Aaron Barich needs. This is an attack. Can block Snapcaster Mage, I suppose, in combination with Invigorate.
Yeah, that's the block that I like. I mean, you get another chump at it, and if you draw an infect creature, it's not impossible. Rosum's on totally nothing.
Yeah. You got to hope he's on nothing. There's your block. Here's your Invigorate. So Rosum will get a little bit more life. Of course, life total doesn't matter in this matchup for the most part. 5 damage will come through. Barich will fall down to 3. Rosum will play another Hymn to Torak. So if you're Barich, you got to draw Glistener Elf here, it looks like, or Inkmoth Nexus. And Barich is going to concede this game. As Jonathan Rosum navigated that one expertly. He's going to win game number 1 here over Aaron Barich as Grixis Control up a game here over Infect. And Barich will go to the sideboard. He's got 2 Dismembers, 2 Surgical Extractions. That means 11 1-ofs. And Force of Will, Crows and Grip, Dissenter's Deliverance, Nature's Claim, Pith and Needle, Dryad Arbor, Flusterstorm, Sylvan Library, Blue Elemental Blast, Relic of Progenitus, and Viridian Corrupta.
The Relic, the Sylvan Library, and the Flusterstorm. That's what I would bring in here.
The Relic for the Graveyard, Flusterstorm for the Counter Wars, Library to be able to play a little bit longer.
Game goes deep.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Yeah, a lot of the anti-artifact stuff here doesn't really line up. Even though there's Gurmag Angler in the deck, I don't think Barich wants to play a game so reactive that he's bringing cards like Dismember.
All right, well, we're going to go to the other side of things here for Jonathan Rosum, who's got 3 Surgical Extractions, 2 Flusterstorm, 2 Pyroblast, 2 Blood Moon, a Red Blast, a Pith and Needle, a Marsh Casualties, a Liliana the Last Hope, great card in this matchup, along with Toxic Deluge, and then True Name Nemesis.
Really good cards here. I think the True Name, the Toxic Deluge, the Liliana, Marsh Casualties, Red Elemental Blast, Pyroblasts, Blood Moons, Flusterstorms are all justifiable.
Well, those are the options for both players there, folks, and we're going to see how they elect a sideboard here for game number 2 of competition, as Rosum won game number 1 after some expert play. That's what you'd expect to see with Rosum in the box here, and we'll see if he can get another one, or if Barich can tie things up. In the meantime, we're going to talk about regionals that is coming up here with Star City Games. Season 2 Regionals, November 10th. Modern is the name of the game, and 14 stores participating, so thank you to every single one of you there. Past times, among them, a store that I played a decent amount at back during my college days. Go.starcitygames.com/regionals, where you'll be able to find all the information, like the prizes that are available. Winner will walk out of there with $1,200, 20 SCG Tour points, and an invite to our Season 2 Invitational Weekend at the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia. You top 8, you'll get that invite as well, so that might be the check mark and the goalpost that you're looking for. You'll also get a sweet little token if you're one of the first 200 players that do join us, a very cool Goblin token there, and a playmat to go along with it, like this one in Chicago from pasttimes.net. Comics and games. Visit Chicago, see the multiverse, free exclusive playmat, and token to the first 200 players at each location. Go.starcitygames.com/regionals for more information. As we get ready here for game number 2 between Barich and Rosum. Rosum player you're going to have to get familiar with here on the SCG Tour. He's number 4 right now on that Season 2 leaderboard, and he's only getting better every tournament that he does play, is John. Pretty young kid. But I expect to see more top 8s from the 20-year-old from Spencer, Massachusetts, with 9 top 8s right now. This could be number 10. He's got that open win in Dallas earlier this year with Kevin King and Julian John, a team open there. He sings and acts, has been the male lead in a number of musicals, including All Shook Up and Footloose, former Hearthstone grinder, and captain of the Bryant University TESPA team, and was the co-drum and major of the David Prouty High School Marching Band and captain of the show choir. So he doesn't just do magic, folks. He does a lot, and he's good at all of them.
Sings and dances.
Yeah. Looks like we've got a little judge call taking place here between games, so we'll let you know exactly what's going on there as soon as we can. You may have seen Dylan Donegan's head poke around the corner there. He's still in the feature match area in top 8 contention. Donegan came in today at 8-1. Checking in now, it looks like at 10-3. Just like these players. And the only player that we got as a lock here for top 8 thus far appears to be David Long with Golgari Depths. We have just been informed on that judge call. We do want to communicate. Patrick is having a difficulty. Patrick, do you want to present it?
Aaron Barich. Aaron Barich somehow in game 1. Now it's all been resolved. It doesn't matter. It's too late. There's no penalty issue. But Aaron Barich apparently presented a 54 card deck in game 1, which I guess what makes sense about that is if you're 6-piling your deck to count, you get an even stack of piles. It's just 9 instead of 10.
Yep.
On the other hand, 54 is like that's
not even close.
That's not even close.
Can't you just feel that when you pick up your deck and shuffle? You're like, something just seems off.
Anyways,
but
it's all good.
Yeah.
No big deal here.
That situation has been resolved.
Yeah,
it has been resolved. But so it goes. So it goes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Let's smooth things over by selling these people something else. How's that sound?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's see. Pre-release playmat sounds good, since that's next weekend. Go.starcitygames.com/pre-release. There we go. Meals on Steel. Got a fox, a crack, and a hippo, a bunny, a cat, birds that are really hungry and no one shares food with them. And we got some cool artwork in the back there with some cranes and with some hedrons in the sky.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
Guilds of Ravnica pre-release.
It's going to be dope because the set's awesome.
Yeah. You want to make sure that your store is participating in this so you can get your hands on the playmat.
Yeah. Or the next one.
Right.
Since they can't participate in this one. But, yeah, what he said.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep. Sold it. If they didn't want one before, they definitely want one now.
Just salivating.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll sign them.
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, man. Got nothing else to do. Let's do it. Did you play Calvin Ridley?
No.
Okay. You're not winning today, then.
It's okay.
Noted.
It has that in common with most days.
I'm just looking out for you, man. Tropical Island is where Aaron Barich is going to start. For Rosum, he'll sacrifice Blue to Delta. Play Ponder. See what land Rosum wants to get here. Could go to Basic Island, but looks like he's going to go get a Volcanic Island. And that looks to be a...
Spell Pierce.
What kind of card is that?
That's an Invocation, I think. He plays 1, so...
Yeah, it's an Invocation. You have that on yours, on your bingo board. That's all you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Go back to that. Hold on.
Yeah. Got a Glistener Elf that was tempted to be bolted, but an Invigorate. Stop that. And now, it's a Sylvan Library. That'll resolve. Let's go back over to Rosum. Could someone just hit blind hit with a therapy so I can win already? Does anyone even play Cabal Therapy anymore?
Dredge. I don't know if our Dredge pilot is
It's
still...
over.
It's over.
He's 9-4.
9004.
Yeah, that's tough. Here's a needle. Naming Inkmoth Nexus. Sylvan Library activation. Ooh, draw all 3. I get a stamp there.
Well, hold on. It's not confirmed he took him. He probably will, but...
Oh, no. Why put the 3rd one back, Aaron?
He's going to shuffle, and he can only draw extra so many times. It's 4 a shot.
Fine. Here's a Ponder. Pyroblast it. In for an Infect, up to 2. Now here's a Wooded Foothills. And there's a Blighted Agent. Okay.
No black mana, no 3rd land. Now he's getting a Sylvan Library off the battlefield. Tapping out.
That's a quick tap out.
Love it.
I know you do.
Rosum just went up in my power rankings.
That was a quick
Love
tap
that.
out from Big John. Wow.
Love that concession.
I'm a little surprised by that. Okay, well, Aaron Barich tied things up there. I didn't even think Aaron really had that much going on. Though I suppose in Active Sylvan Library I am underrating its power.
Yeah, I mean, it's, if he can't cast anything that turn, he's done.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, all tied up now. So there's that. Means Rosum will be on the play here for game number 3. You see the sideboards on the screen here. They're going to work on that. We're going to hear an awesome word here from our friends at Ultimate Guard in just a moment here. But before we do, make sure you're following at SCG Tour, hashtag SCGBALT for your tweets all weekend long. We're going to go over some more cards here at the conclusion of the round. But first, a couple of words from our friends over at UG. And go.starcitygames.com/Ultimate Guard for all of your Ultimate Guard premium protection products. Game number 3 about to be underway here. These players are going to finish sideboarding up. Do a little shuffling here. Aaron,
piling out.
Yeah. Your favorite.
Wants to make sure that he's presenting 60
44.
Or 54.
Yeah. Some egregiously low number of cards.
Yeah, which either way. It's fine either way. Presenting 54 is, wow.
That's tough.
It's tough.
That's a tough thing to do.
I wonder how it got caught. Just picks up his sideboard and there's 21 cards in there.
There's 2. Yeah, there's 2 Berserks. That's weird. Rather have those in the main.
Oh well. No harm, no foul, as it turns out. It was caught. Rosum won the game anyway. No big deal.
NBD, as the kids say. You in with that slang?
Do I know that one?
The NBD slang?
I do know that one.
That a boy. I got to keep you on the up and up, what the hip kids say. Rosum going to play a Scalding Tarn, pass the turn back over to Barich. Barich will play a Verdant Catacombs. He'll sack that Verdant Catacombs. Glistener Elf.
Looks like Barich may be on a one-lander.
Best kind of hand. Rosum with another fetch. Rosum's hand, not surprisingly, reactive. That's what this control deck is all about. Can get a little proactive sometimes with Kolaghan's Command and, of course, Hymn to Torak. This is a Noble Hierarch. That's an Exalted Attack for 2 Infect. 8 to go here for Barich.
See if Rosum has an opportunity here to pick something apart at the end of the turn.
Nope. Makes me wonder what Rosum's got going on in his hand. I see 2 copies of Force of Will.
2 more lands. Snapcaster, perhaps? I mean, Snapcaster and no 1-mana spells would explain. And plus Force.
Yeah?
It's kind of on the, the bottom end of keepable hands.
There's a Brainstorm. Spell Pierce and Sylvan Library among the cards that have been drawn here for Aaron. Trying to figure out what the second card to put back is going to be. All right. There's an attack. 4 Infect now.
Now, does Barich want to leave up Pierce and his Vines, or does he want to tap out for Sylvan Library?
That's a really good question. Library is very powerful in spots like this. Looks like he wants to go to Ponder instead. He'll maybe kind of split the difference there. Looks like Blossoming Defense maybe among those cards. Didn't get a great look at it. All right, there's a land. Wooded Foothills. Pass the turn back. Let's go over to Rosum, who's going to sack a land. Curious to see exactly what John's got going on here, since he hasn't done anything the first couple of turns of the game. You'd at least expected a Ponder or a Brainstorm or something. You haven't seen anything yet. Okay, Command. Finally. Deal 2 and discard a card. Going after the Hierarch instead of the Glistener Elf. Get Spell Pierce to take care of that, or at least try to.
The 1 of Spell Pierce. Again, pulling some serious weight.
Barrett's looking to try to fight back, though, with a Force of Will, exiling a Force of Will on the Spell Pierce. I am very curious to see what's going on in Rosum's hand. And Barrett's got some thinking to do now, though.
And why the Hierarch instead of the Glistener Elf,
Yeah.
Generally in spots like this, if it's close, I think that if your opponent was willing to force, you should be forcing back. It looks like he's looking at Blighted Agent plus Force, Vines, and Sylvan Library.
Yeah. Weirdly, this might be the exchange that Rosum wants to have happen. I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out one way or the other, right?
Barich can't feel bad about how the exchange went. I mean, you got to trade your Pearson for a Kolaghan's command, and a couple forces bounced off each other.
John. Marsh casualties. Okay. That's pretty good. Verdant Catacombs. Sylvan Library. Well, Rosum's got a beautiful window now to resolve Jace the Mind Sculptor, and he's going to do just that. So Rosum got Barich to battle over something that maybe he cared about, maybe he didn't, and use a Force of Will and use a Spell Pierce. Permission down. Marsh Casualties cleaned everything up, and now Jace is here.
And now it's really important for Barich to find an Inkmoth Nexus, because he's going to really struggle to be able to get to his own turn with a creature that's eligible to attack now that Jace is on the battlefield. Probably will remain so for the remainder of the game. And I think attacking with any non-Nexus creature is unlikely.
Rosum will play a Swamp after resolving the Brainstorm, and now Barich is going to sacrifice a fetch land.
Did he bring in the Dryad Arbor?
There's your answer. Could actually use that to take care of Jace now.
Yep.
In combination with the Vines. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, Barich needs to try to get the Jace off the battlefield. He's going to get a bunch of looks at it with Sylvan Library. If you're able to get the Jace off the battlefield, then you're drawing to all of your Infect creatures are suddenly live again.
Yep. Barich knows he needs to see some good ones here with the Sylvan Library. A Ponder, a Blighted Age, and a Force of Will.
Take them all, yep.
Ding-a-ding-a-ding! Give me a stamp on that one. I am one away from bingo, as here's a Ponder. Shuffle away, Will Barich.
So on the hunt for a pump spell here. Try to get Jace off the battlefield. Cards will turn around in some directions.
Looks like things are all fixed now. Mystery card there for Barich. Going to knock Jace down to 2. And now it will be Blighted Agent. Let's go back over to Rosum. Curious to see how he wants to use his Planeswalker. He's going to Brainstorm. 3 cards coming, 2 got to go back for John. Those 2 cards will go back. Follow-up. That's a pretty good one. In combination with Kolaghan's command. It's actually going to be Marsh Casualties. That's even better.
Yeah, that's everything.
Jeez.
And now, I think it's Nexus is like Barich's last live card, basically.
Yep, I think I'm with you. I think any other creatures are not going to work.
And he needs to find it very quickly, too, as he's on 8, facing a Snapcaster Mage. Can't really tax the Sylvan Library very much at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm with you, partner. I am. Because he's in some serious trouble as he falls down to 4 now, I think. Pendelhaven. Viridian Corruptor. Sure. I'm sure Rosum doesn't care too much about that. That can just be bounced via Jace. The Mind Sculptor out here doing its thing again. So there's Baleful Strix. Draw a card. Follow-up. Thoughtseize. Clear path. Show you Invigorate. Force of Will. And what looked like a weirdly navigated game from Rosum in the first couple of turns makes a lot more sense now.
Oh, I mean, you know, he got the casualties was kind of the setup here the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
He's been very mindful about picking his removal. Never trying to get too exposed. Never trying to pick any sort of fight inside of combat. It's been very well navigated.
Invigorate will bite the dust. Rosum's going to follow things up there with the Bloodstained Mire. Looks like he's going to bounce. Okay.
Now he can Snapcaster push.
Yep, because he's got a Revolt. Yeah, John's going to be really good. And he's already pretty darn good. He's already pretty darn good. Going to play Snapcaster match, target Fatal Push, take care of the Corruptor. Pass the turn. Barich, there's no card. He'll concede the game. John Rosum going to win this game and match here over Aaron Barich. 2-1. Grixis Control going to take care of Infect.